Hey guys, Mike here. So today we're going to talk about Palantir and how it is possible that this stock stopped this downward trajectory, slammed on the brakes, went green on a day where the market was blood red, and then basically kind of consolidated and held up for Thursday and Friday when the market was doing what? See you later, right? NASDAQ was going back down into the 20%, bear market territory, okay? All this volatility. And there's, Palantir just kind of whistling Dixie saying, no, we're good, we're holding up. Like, how is that possible? Like, what happened, right? And something did happen, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. It's literally one thing. And this is where I tell you the CEO is proven right. If you watch my video on the conference call he did, I'm going to play you the short little 5-second clip of him saying what he said. I guess he knows his company. He's right on the money, right? And so I'm going to tell you exactly why it's holding up, why it can actually start moving up if certain things start to happen. But at least more than anything, in a market like this, you're just happy to hold up, right? Because other stocks are selling off massively right now, and somehow Palantir put those brakes on, okay? And so we're going to go over that. I do want to say, first of all, if you're looking for free research, like free articles to keep up with the stock market, and I got one today. I'm going to show it to you in detail a little bit here. Check out the daily upside. You can see this right here. I got this one today. Look at all of this detailed research on Disney. I've been thinking about getting in this stock and adding it to my son's portfolio. It's been dropping like crazy. All of this is free, guys. This doesn't cost a single penny. It's written by highly qualified authors. You can see all this data for you, which normally you have to pay for. And there it is right there. So if you're thinking about getting in Disney or got Disney, you might want to look at this data right here, because it don't try to sell you stocks. It gives you the good, the bad, and the ugly of this, okay? And with most articles, you're going to get 3 to 5 articles every day to look at and keep up with the news, not only here at home, but abroad. And so, all you do, hit the link right there in the description, put your email in, hit submit. That's it, completely free. Okay, I read this every day it comes in. I'm telling you. It makes no sense not to, right? You got literally nothing to lose. And so, sign up. Let me know what you think, stuff like that. And if there's any things you want me to cover in detail, do a video on, something you get out of the daily upside, let me know, because I've done videos from things I've gotten out of them, okay? So let me know. And if you get anything out of this as well, hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and look at Palantir's stock chart, and then what is holding this stock up when everything else is selling off. And so starting off with Palantir's stock chart, we can see, like everything else, we're in this downward trending slope, right? We just can't seem to get out of this on the indexes or for these kind of stocks, which are high growth stocks. And you can see I have that last line of defense below where we're at right now, okay? It almost got there, basically almost bounced off of that, and that is the last line of defense, because that's where it IPO'd at, okay? But you can see it's in this massive drop, and then boom, pops up, comes down that support line, and then just starts trading basically sideways, okay? So, what caused this, and why did Piper Sandler all of a sudden come out and rate Palantir a buy? As you can see, if we go over our front tip ranks here and we scroll down, you can see Piper Sandler right there puts a buy rating with a $15 price target 4 days ago. And even from here, because it sold off so much, as a 32% upside. But why do they do that when everybody else is saying hold, right? And what's crazy, if you come over, normally you get no good news, right? It doesn't have good news about this company, because the analysts don't like it. Most people just don't understand it, I think. But you look right here. All of a sudden, you're getting bullish news, right? For the last 7 days, 88% bullish, only 13% bearish. And then when you look to the right over there, you can see it's got very positive as the rating is the new score. That's very rare for this company. Trust me, I check this all the time for them. And you come down here, and you see all the news all of a sudden coming out. That's a lot of news over the last 3 days being written about this company. Let's see how much is bullish. The majority, as you can see, in the last 2 days to 8 days. You go to bearish, you only have a couple articles that came out with bearishness. So the 88% of this is bullish. And the question is why? And it comes back to something the CEO said during the earnings call.
This is a company built for bad times. Bad times mean strong finances internally.
And unfortunately, that's just the way it works on Wall Street, right? When people in Ukraine are suffering, other people are going to make money off this. That's what it is. This is a defense contractor. They have plenty of contracts. Of course, they're in a lot of industries. But this is one thing they do, is work with military and defense contractors, right? And to show you what I'm talking about, just look at what's going on with two of the biggest defense contractors in the world right here. As you can see, we got Palantir at the top, Raytheon in the middle, and then Lockheed Martin right there at the bottom. And look how these stocks move basically in tandem, right, for this week. You can just see them, they move up together, they move down together, they move sideways together, and you can see right there at the end of the week, they actually sold off a little bit all together, right? And this is why Piper Sandler gave them the buy rating and even basically said, this is a time where Palantir can absolutely make money, because what did they get hit on last time? The government contracts, the government growth. What's happening around the world right now? You see people going to the presidents and prime ministers going to the government saying, we got to spend more money on defense spending now because we're scared to death of what Russia is going to do next. People are talking about World War III, panicking. And these are times these defense contractors are going to take advantage of it. And so that's why they said that. And so it kind of fixes a problem also that Palantir had coming out of that earnings call, right? They started getting more government contracts. And I'm going to prove this to you, and it's going to show in detail. There was a Fireside chat with Morgan Stanley, just took place, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. It was Thursday or Friday, I believe, of last week. And they have, a representative from Palantir talking exactly what's fixing to happen for them and how it works with these government contracts. I don't work for the government. I'm sure you may not work for the government, but there is a way this works. And in a time like this, things are accelerated, right? The governments want to spend money fast. They have to spend money fast. They have to fix systems, get systems put in place. And we're talking about multiple countries. And so listen to what he says, and it's not very long at all. But you will really learn something about the company you're invested in or the company you might think about getting invested in.
Then there's exogenous events, and you have a geopolitical crisis like Ukraine. Emergency spending bills start getting passed. How does that change the dynamic? Does that free up spending and free up dollars that could be put at use for solutions like Palantir?
It absolutely does. And I think it plays to the strength of our business model where, we're not waiting for that money to be obligated to start innovating. Like, we are there literally on the front lines, building as much features as we can for the generals who are running these campaigns, creating as much visibility across the allied force. That innovation is like a punctuated equilibrium, and it creates a bunch of IP, a bunch of interesting products that then can be systematized and brought to bear against the government's problems through the funding that is available.
Got it. That sounds very bullish to me.
So the thing I'm most excited about in the government is I think we have the opportunity to be the first software prime. Depending on how you count it, there's 4 to 5 primes. They're principally hardware companies.
Yeah.
But with Titan, this project that we've taken on to build a tactical ground station, we are the prime contractor as a software company.
Yeah.
We're using that unique position to understand how do we totally transform this asset, which connects to space constellations from the ground, using software to fundamentally reimagine this. It's a little bit like what Tesla did to the car.
Sure.
And I think that's going to create profound opportunities in the government space.
And the system he's talking about, Titan, I put this in the video a long time ago because it was a contract they got quite a while back now. But they were partnered with Raytheon, one of the biggest defense contractors out there, because they'll build the actual physical system while they do the software. And so, I've always said this about Palantir, like they're embedded, especially in the United States. Man, they're embedded in everything. I mean, I think they've worked with the IRS, the healthcare system. You're talking about Air Force, Navy, Army, CIA. I don't know if they've been with the FBI yet, but, and there's contracts we'll never know about, right? Because they can't tell anybody. And so, but they're just so ingrained. It's not easy. I've been in the military, anybody who's worked for the government knows they just don't change things on a whim, so to speak, especially if you've been using for years and it works. Like they've proven, in times like this is who you want to call, right? You don't call the Ghostbusters. You want to call somebody like Palantir, okay, to help you out with the data part, the software part, And so, because they've proven it for 20 years with our government, right? Why not go with them? And so the other thing to think about is Europe. The European countries are starting to, in a way, panic, but they're saying, hey, we need to spend more money. We need to spend more money because here in the United States, if you don't know this, we spend about, I think last year, $780 billion. We spend more money on defense than the next 9 countries. I'm talking about China, England, France, any of them. All the next big 9 countries spending, we spend as much as they do combined. Okay, that's insane, right? But we literally, and that's why people say we're the world's police. Yeah, we spend $780 billion, right? And so the other ones spend like $100 billion, $150 billion, like just nothing close to what we spend on defense, right? And I mean, you know, who's sending Ukraine weapons right now? We are. I mean, I'm actually in support of that. I'm like, send them the planes, send them the missiles, whatever you got to do to defend yourself and fight off Russia. I'm for, you know. And so, you know, I also understand now let me get back to Europe real quick when I got off on that tangent. But if you look at Europe, you can see this is an article I found a long time ago. But it says, you know, the findings raise serious questions over the way public agencies work with the company and reveal Palantir's expanding footprint into Europe's public health, aviation, and security apparatuses, as well as acceptance into the GAIA-X Association, designing a future data infrastructure. And so I show you that just to show you that they've worked with multiple countries in Europe, multiple agencies within those countries. Okay, and so, you know, they have relationships built there on the government side. And in a time like this, you know, you got to ask yourself, if you were a government official who had enough power, you know, and you work with a company, who are you going to call? A company you work with that actually did execute what you wanted to execute? Or are you going to take a chance on a company you don't know that you never work with, right? And so when it comes to Palantir, they have those relationships. They've proven what they can do, right? And so that's where we got to pay attention. There's no guarantee. They may get 0 new government contracts out of this. We don't know. You know, we'll have to see. I'll be shocked if they don't, right? Because the good thing is they don't just have a relationship with the governments. They have relationships with the other government contractors like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, this kind of stuff. They have those relationships, right? Because they're dealing with the software side, the data, all that stuff, while the other companies are actually doing the physical building of whatever it is that needs to be built type stuff. And so, you know, that's also a plus, right? And so, you know, this is why the stock is stabilizing, or at least for now, right? It's why it's not selling off anywhere near what the indexes and the other high growth stocks are selling off for right now. I mean, it was like a bloodbath last week. And so, you know, that's what's happening, right? If you've been wondering, oh, what's going on with Palantir? That's what it is. That's why they're getting their positive ratings. That's why you could see more analysts jump on board because, like I said, unfortunately, in bad times, somebody's making money, right? And so that's something to look out for. So hopefully you got something out of it. Hit the like and subscribe button if you did. Notifications all, guys. Really appreciate that. Let me know down in the comments what you think and everything. And if you have any insights on it, especially if you live in Europe, that'd be cool to get some more insights because we just go off the news we get here. So, you know, I hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you tomorrow.